Yo, good morning. Um, I am talking to you. It is 5:21 in the morning, and I got up early as I usually do, preparing to get ready to go work out. And as I'm reading through some of the headlines through the papers, one story in particular struck a chord with me, which was about a grandmother by the name of Sister Danette Simmons was killed down in Miami Gardens, over a dispute over a dog, and it was a Yorkshire, a Yorkshire Terrier, one of those small puppies. And before I go further, let me say I pray your transition be peaceful. Um, Sister Danette Simmons, but this story resonates with me because one, I miss my grandmother. I got three grandmas, and all of them are gone. All of them has transitioned. So grandmothers are important. So this story, as I mentioned, resonates with me. It strikes a chord with me for more than one reason. All right, no suspect. I watched an interview. Um, one of the family members spoke, and they don't have a suspect. They need help. And listen, the thugs down there in Miami, like this this message is for y'all. Whoever's the thug war captain down there, y'all need to handle this. And we have to police our own. Apparently, this is all of the details that the family have at the moment. The dog was with the owner, Sister Danette. Hopefully, I'm saying her name right. Um, The dog apparently got loose, okay, got out the house. The dog was returned by a neighbor. Apparently, when the neighbor was returning, as the neighbor returned the dog, two unidentified people showed up and disputed that the dog was theirs. Uh, that was what the dispute was over. Okay, yeah, y'all gotta forgive me. I'm just waking up, so I'm still defrosting, so to speak. So, okay, again, dog got out, neighbor brings the dog back. Two people showed up. No, that's my dog. Shoots the grandmother, shoots the lady in her own home. Cops say the shots came from outside the house. I watched the interview. They showed the house and how some of the bullets hit the house. So the shots came alleged. I mean, from what I've seen, what they say right now, the shots came from outside the house, and she was killed inside the home. Like that's disrespectful. That's a grandmother. Like, where have we gotten to a society where we have no regard for our elders? A grandmother. Do you know how important grandmothers are to families? And that's my point. This is another point of mine in terms of why this story resonates with me. Grandmothers are important. I have three, and all three are gone. That's knowledge transfer. That's information that the rest of the family, especially the younger people, will not be able to get because they're not here. And in this case, Miss Danette is gone over a goddamn dog, a Yorkshire Terrier. The dog is about this big. This is my wallet. The dog is about that big. Like, for real, a dog, a Yorkshire Terrier. And and this is why I say um, conflict resolution needs to be taught in school. Like, the school system has to adapt. And let me be specific. The curriculum has to adapt with the current times. They have to adapt with. the current ethos, the American ethos, if you will, which is sex, drugs, murder, it's a death culture. And it needs to be more sexual awareness classes out there taught. And it needs to be more classes, electives on conflict resolution. And I feel like if that potentially could have been um, um, value, could have been valuable in this situation had the individuals who did the shooting had some sense of conflict resolution. And also makes me think about what C. Freeman L. And C. Freeman L. is someone who I consider a master teacher, and he said that when people react to situations like that, they have no control over their emotions. Okay, and actually, let me be a little bit more. I have this book right here. What he said in terms of this also made me think about this. And this is the example that he gave, and it kind of makes sense in this case too. If you bump into somebody and they get raging mad, like a road rage, she has no control over his brain, his chemistry, his nervous system. He's a victim of whatever bumps into him. Mastery is controlling your powers, controlling the four elements. So in this case, the person thought the dog was theirs. They got mad. They had all these emotions, all these emotions firing off of that. No control, no mastery. And so it made me think about our beloved ancestor C. Freeman L's teachings when I read about this story. And again, then this is another reason why I feel like conflict resolution needs to be taught in schools. It needs to be talked about in the homes, um, between parents and their children, because we have to have control over our emotions when we get into disagreements, when we get into arguments, because it will happen. Like you can go outside and nature tell you that. You know, it's not sun shining every day, but you have to have control. You have to be able to weather the storm, simmer down. A grandmother is dead over a dog. It ain't cool. It ain't cool. So again, they have no suspects. So I put the thugs on alert now. Y'all get the chance. Y'all got a chance. Y'all got an opportunity to put in some work. If, go put in some work. Go do some good. Like in this case, I don't think the creator I think the creator will assist you in whatever you got to do to make sure that this killer in this instance is brought to justice, because we cannot depend on the police. Like a grandmother is dead, man, for real, over a dog. Like what a thug is that, man? Like we need to. Somebody know something. Y'all niggas know something down there in Miami, man. You know, all those gangs down there. Somebody get in contact with Danette Simmons people. Somewhere down there in Miami Gardens. The residence was 18800. The 18800 block. I mean the 18800 block of Northwest 17th Court. All right, I'm gonna put the address in the description of the video. Sorry to chop that up, but yeah, 18800 Northwest 17th Court. All right, let me copy and paste that now in my description. But yeah, and we can't have this shit. Like this is unfortunate, and uh, I empathize with the family. I'm praying for y'all. This is not cool. Not cool at all. Yeah, make sure you find a reason to smile today. Drink water, exercise. Drink water, exercise. Gotta go. Yo.